Looking for the cheapest full coverage car insurance? If you're not getting quotes from these three companies, you might be overpaying by hundreds of dollars per year. Most people stick with the insurance company they purchased when they bought a car, but insurance rates can vary a lot over the years, and depending on the company, you can save a lot of money. But with so many companies out there, how do you know which ones get you the best rates without skimping on coverage or claims record? Every month, MoneyGeek crunches the numbers on car insurance rates and finds the cheapest companies for consumers. So grab your pen and get ready to jot down these three picks. And stay tuned to the end of the video, because I'm going to give you tips on how you can lower your car insurance premium with your current company. Before we get into the cheapest full coverage car insurance companies, let's talk a little about what full coverage is and how that differs from liability-only car insurance. Full coverage is not a real term on your policy, but it's an industry term for car insurance policies that have collision and comprehensive insurance. That's distinct from liability insurance, which covers your liability if you're at fault for an accident, either damaging someone's car or actually injuring them. If you want full coverage, you'll need to buy collision and comprehensive insurance. That'll cover damage to your car. Think of collision insurance as damages that happen in the act of driving, something that happens to you on the road with another car or an inanimate object on the road. Think of comprehensive insurance as an act of God. This will cover things like floods or hail or other non-road events that can damage your car. And it's worth noting that the term full coverage refers just to these two coverages. So that doesn't mean you'll be covered for injuries to yourself. That'll have to be covered by someone's liability insurance if they're at fault, or if you buy personal injury protection or medical payments coverage on your car insurance policy. How do you decide if you need full coverage car insurance? Most people get it, but it's not for everyone. If you buy full coverage, you're getting added protection, so that means it costs more. Full coverage tends to cost about $700 a year, so that's a nice chunk of change. Let's take the example of someone with an older car. Your insurance is going to pay you for the actual cash value of your car. So if your car is valued at, let's say, less than $5,000 or less than $3,000, that's the amount of money you're going to get in a claim. So if you're paying hundreds of dollars per year for your full coverage, but your car actually isn't worth that much, it might be time to drop the coverage. Though just remember, if you don't have the coverage, you're going to have to pay for repairs and such out of pocket. So make sure you have some savings to cover that. On the other hand, many people are required to get full coverage, even though it's not a state requirement of car insurance, but it might be a requirement from your bank or lender. Anyone who finances a car purchase or leases the car is probably going to have to be holding collision and comprehensive insurance. That's to protect their investment in you. So should you go with liability only or full coverage? Like all insurance decisions, it depends on how much risk you're willing to take versus how much you're going to pay each month. We generally recommend full coverage because you don't want to be left with a big out-of-pocket bill when you could have avoided that with insurance payment. But ultimately, the decision is up to you, and those with much older cars should think about removing that extra coverage. After digging into the data, here are the three companies with the cheapest full coverage car insurance rates this month. Let's start with the third cheapest, Nationwide. Its average annual cost for drivers comes in at just over $1,200 a year, or about $100 a month. Nationwide, like a lot of insurers, will reward you if you bundle with your home insurance policy or if you have a safe driving record. Next up is Geico, which also averages just over $1,200 a year. Geico has a very accessible online platform and a host of discounts, which make it easier to save even more money, and comes in at our second most expensive full coverage policy. Finally, our cheapest full coverage policy for this month is Travelers. It's just over $1,100 a month, so almost $100 cheaper than the other two. So this is a great option for people looking for full coverage, collision and comprehensive, at a more affordable rate. Last but not least is a fourth bonus company that you might have heard of. It's called USAA. USAA is actually the cheapest overall at just under $70 a month. But there's a catch: you need to qualify for a policy. You need to be an active or retired military member or be part of the extended family of someone with military service. And there you have it, the three cheapest full coverage car insurance companies this month for most people looking for a policy. But keep in mind that rates vary by your individual driver characteristics. So the best thing you can do for yourself is shop around and maybe start with these 3 insurers. And stick around because I'm about to tell you how to save even more money on your car insurance policy while you're shopping or after you have a policy. Okay, as promised, give me 1 minute and I'll show you how to save money on your car insurance policy, mostly without switching companies. Tip number 1 is to raise your deductible. So consider raising your deductible if you want to save money on your monthly bill. If you have a $500 deductible for car insurance, you'll pay $500 out of pocket when you make a claim. If you have a $2,000 deductible, you'll pay $2,000 out of pocket when you make a claim. But what does that mean? If you have a $2,000 deductible, you're going to pay less money each month for your car insurance policy. But remember, in the event that you make an accident and you have to make a claim, you'll have to pay that extra money out of pocket. In this example, it was $1,500 more for that claim, $2,000 versus $500. A second hack is bundling your policies. Homeowners insurance bundles with the same insurer as your car insurance policy can save 15% or more on both policies. But even if you're not a homeowner, you can find ways to save. It might not be as big as a homeowner discount, but renter's insurance discounts, for example, when bundled with car insurance, can help you save on both of those policies. Hack number 3, check all the discounts, not just bundle discounts. When's the last time you looked at your insurer's discounts and checked if you had them all? Do you have a discount for paperless billing? Did you pay your policy in full all 6 months so that you can get a discount? Maybe you barely drive your car these days and you could get a low mileage discount. It always makes sense to look into the discounts your policy offers and try to get all of them. So talk to your agent or do your own research about what discounts your insurer offers. Hack number 4 is shopping around, and this is the one where you might have to change companies. I get it, getting car insurance quotes is a pain, but this really is one of the best ways to find the cheapest policy for you. The fact is, many insurers offer very similar policies, but calculate their rates differently. So take a little time and shop among insurers. And if you find a cheaper rate, tell your current insurer and they might offer you a cheaper rate for your current policy. Our 5th and final hack for lowering your car insurance rates is adjusting your coverage. If you have an older car, you might not need that full coverage policy anymore. Or maybe you lower your liability limits if they're super high. We're talking, 1 million or 500,000 in total accident coverage. You might be able to lower those and get some savings. Always remember that there are risks associated with lowering the amount of insurance coverage you have, because when something happens, you probably have to pay more out of pocket. And there you have it, 5 hacks to save on your car insurance policy. Try these out and let me know in the comments if any of them helped you save on your monthly bill.